One of the most common problems with automated SolidWorks export is file naming. Even if the export itself is fast, the output can still create extra work if the files are named inconsistently. Someone may need to rename PDFs, step files, DXFs, or other outputs manually before sending them to manufacturing, suppliers, or customers. In this video, I will show how Solidise helps solve this with export naming rules. The naming rules can be found under the export settings. From here, I can build the output file name by adding different naming segments. I can append or prepend fixed text, use values from custom properties, or add conditional logic when a value should only appear in specific cases. In this example, I want to add the revision value to the end of the exported part file name. I'll start by adding an if block. For the condition, I select the revision property and set it to is not empty. I do not need to enter a value here because the rule is only checking whether something exists in the revision field. There are also options to add AND blocks or OR blocks for more advanced conditions. For this example, we only need a simple revision check, so I will leave those options out. Inside the block, I add the revision property again so it can be rendered into the file name. I also want to include a prefix before the revision value so the exported name is easier to read. Always remember to save the settings. Now let's run the automation again and look at the newly created file name. This will let us confirm that the naming rule is working correctly and that the revision value is being added to the exported part file as expected. As you can see, newly added parts can be added to the existing automation queue and exported without starting the whole process from the beginning. I just noticed that I forgot to select the file names for this export. I'll quickly correct that and run the automation again. As you can see, we can easily add revisions to the end of exported file names, but only for the parts that actually have revision values. This makes the output cleaner and avoids adding unnecessary text to files where the revision field is empty. With Solidise naming rules, export file names can follow your team's release standard automatically. Instead of renaming files manually after export, you can build the naming logic once, preview the result, and reuse it every time you run automation.